It is projector review time again. This one's very exciting. This one is from BenQ. BenQ's been around for a long time. They're specialists in displays. They've been doing monitors from way back in the day. So when they asked me, they sent this over, if I wanted to review one of their projectors, I said yes. This is a 4K projector. This model here, TK705. There's an STi, and then there's the I. This is the STi. It's not a Subaru, but what it is a short throw. ST for short throw projector. Short throw meaning that you can have this projector much closer to a surface, like much closer to the wall here. And despite that, you're going to get a really big image. So short throws are specially designed so that you can bring a closer space, smaller space, have them much closer to the wall and project out a very, very large image, right? Standard throw, you're going to bring it further back. Long throw, even further back. That's kind of how they're designed. So this one here is, they asked me which one I wanted to review, and I said I want to do the short throw. The reason is I have a small space here for sure, and I typically gravitate towards that anyways, and I think my audience does too. I mean, I have a fairly broad audience, but I think a lot of people, a lot of you guys, may have a smaller space, smaller living rooms. Maybe you're in an apartment, maybe you're in a dormitory, maybe you're in a bedroom, whatever it is, smaller spaces. But you don't want a tiny little TV. And I think this type of technology should be adopted more, not just by people who are watching shows, but gamers. I'm pushing this. I'm pushing projectors for gamers. Why? Because for one thing, screens are very expensive. Screens are very, very expensive. You're limited in size. You're limited in the orientation of your room, in the orientation of your space. This is adaptable. You can set this up to your needs. You can get a huge canvas at a price that would be competitive or potentially even cheaper than a competitor screen. I mean, a 100-inch screen is going to cost you a fortune, legitimately. So I think gamers, not just people who are, movie enthusiasts, media enthusiasts, I think gamers as well, specifically as someone who I'm really encouraging guys to give it a try. Look at these projectors. It's quick cut time. The quick cut is about a giveaway. They told me that there is a giveaway happening. They have enlightened me to its existence. This giveaway can earn you some good stuff, and it runs until April 30th of this year, 2026, April 30th, and all you have to do is a survey. Seems pretty legit to me. Might as well do it. I'll put a link to the survey down below in the video description. I mean, just do it. How long does it take to do a survey? And maybe you don't win, whatever. But if you do, then you get some sweet stuff. And what do you win? Well, let me show you. It's in this little thing here. You get the projector. There's the 705i, which is the normal throw, which I'm not reviewing today, and the STi, which is the one I'm reviewing today. The only real difference between these is short throw versus not short throw. I'm going to be reviewing the short throw. You get the projector that I'm going to be reviewing today also. It's fantastic. And apparently a popcorn maker, which is sick. It makes me want to enter, but I'm not going to because I'm not a bad person. Or at least not in that way. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the specs. We'll just do it kind of live like this. I feel like doing the video this way today. So we have two different options from them. They asked me which one I wanted to review. As you can see here, there is the STi, which we have today, and the just I. The difference is the STi, which we're going to be reviewing today, is a short throw. So basically what we have here on this one is that we're going to be able to set this up in a very small space, which is what I'm going to be using today, and still get a really big image, right? So you're going to get a nice projection out onto a very large image. But when it comes to gaming and media consumption, there is something to be said about projectors. I'm really starting to move towards the projector side of things. PS5, if you have even the previous generation, Switch 1 will output to a 4K TV, but it'll just upscale. Switch 2 actually will output 4K, it's just upscaled as well. Gaming laptops, gaming desktops, all of these will do 4K nowadays. So it's really nice to have that 4K resolution. You have very good color space. Obviously, we'll test the color space as well. There should be nice bright colors, meaning it's going to also push into the, the reds, and it's specifically into the reds, but also greens in that as well. Get a nice color space. You're not going to have muted, like pinky looking crap. Game ready, you can see 4K 60 hertz. There are consoles that'll do 4K 120, but let's be honest. Who here is gaming at 4K 120? Okay, so here's a look at the actual projector. Very nice. It's not too heavy, which is interesting. It has a stand, and you might want to mount it on a roof or something like that, so it's nice that it's not super heavy or anything. Nice material here, like a fabric-y material. Very nice. Big open lens, kind of like a traditional camera style. I actually like that. Just the design choice looks really nice. Then you have your sensors over here. Let's actually take off that so that make sure we get a nice clean signal on some of the auto. features. So yeah, these are the auto features, the sensors basically for auto keystone, focus, that kind of stuff. On the right or left side, I guess left from the front, right from the back, depends which way you're going. Volume up, volume down. These are some menu select buttons. You can go wee through there. Back button, power. Ventilation, that. Ventilation. You can't really see it probably on the camera, but there's a big radiator out there to help cool it down. Nice because, you know, projectors can produce heat, so it's nice if it's going to really cool itself down. DC power in, 12-volt trigger. No idea what that is. USB-C, so you can plug in peripherals, data. To HDMI, very good. This one you can use for audio. This one here, you can plug in external devices. I'll probably plug in like a gaming laptop or something. We'll see, or a console, who knows. Media, so you can plug in external media devices. So if you have videos or something like that on USB, you can pop it in there. And then audio out, if you want to go with the audio out section. On the top here, we have some more. Let's actually take these off just so that we know the light is getting through. Sensors, that kind of stuff. You can actually mount this upside down if you want to hang it from a roof, like so. So that's the mounting location there. The release button. And the standard mount on the bottom. It does have adjustable feet, so we can, you know, adjust this up. But based on the angle that I'm at, I would be, you know, because it's a short throw, so typically you're probably going to be a little bit closer to the wall, potentially. So you may go with something like that. So it does have a nice feet set up as well. Now it does, you can buy into the stand. They sent over the stand here. It's a nice metal robust, rubber on the bottom, nice and thin, sleek. It's got a little pulling thing, which is nice. And what is, so if we go like that, that's our pivot, right? We can go like that. I'm going to be fairly close to the wall, so I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to lock that in. Oh, we can go like weird angles too. Look at that. Oh, it's got a ball joint in there. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that was a ball joint, like a crescent ball joint. Look at that. That's really nice, actually. Okay, good job. A nice smooth motion too, resistive, but nice and smooth at the same time. I mean, BenQ's been around for a very long time. Okay, so here's the test platform today. This here is, it has a very mild tint of blue on this wall here, but it is actually a gray wall. The nice thing about that is grays and, you know, darker colors will enhance contrast. Light walls will, you know, like the canvas over there, white canvas will give it much more vibrancy and brightness. So it depends what you're looking for, right? This should increase contrast a little bit too. And we can get a nice big image here on this wall here, despite the fact that it's fairly close. So this thing uses Google TV. It's going to be very easy to set up as a result. You're basically just going to, you know, basically pop through here and follow through. You can do it on your phone, which is might be what I do. Okay, so as we can see here, I'm not going to install all these right now, but Canadian, Netflix, YouTube, Disney. We have Crave in Canada. You guys have HBO Max and that in the US. Other countries, not sure, but yeah, just get one of them. But you can see it has all these, actually let's get Disney. Oh, YouTube. It has all these registered apps. So it'll just come in here, you download them, and we'll get set up. So then now we're going to jump into some testing, see how this thing goes. Okay, so here we are set up. This is not very far from the wall, to be honest. And it's giving us a nice large canvas. I'm going to move it back so we can get an even larger screen. But let's just get a quick measurement here, what kind of screen size we're getting at that distance here. It's very respectable, to be honest. So from the wall, go with inches. We are at, wow, that's not even 5 feet from the wall. Yeah, that's not even 5 feet from the wall. We're getting a nice big, yeah, look at that. Wow, 77-inch screen, 78-inch screen at under 5 inches, 5 feet from the wall. That's crazy. That's very impressive. Pretty large there now. I could go back further, but I'm kind of showing this off as being like a legitimate short throw, right? We could go further back. I mean, this is getting to be massive now anyways. Like, how big is this now? We're at just shy of 100 inches screen, which is massive, obviously. How far are we now? Like physically, the front of the projector is not even 6 feet, 5 feet 8 inches from the screen, from the wall. And we have a 100-inch screen, and I can go further back if we wanted. Like I could just keep going further back, make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger, right? Make it larger, make it larger. But that's probably a respectable level for me. Now, the nice thing is here, I'll come into the screen here while I'm talking. The nice thing is here, it's a huge screen, But remember, it's a 4K. This is a 4K projector. So despite the fact that we are now looking at a 100-inch canvas, auto keystone, I mean, it's done on its own. Look how bright that is. Despite the fact that this is on a gray canvas, not a white canvas, it looks nice and crisp, at least to me. I mean, I see that as white. I see this as gray. That looks very crisp to me. Now you can, of course, adjust it. I need to stand behind. You can, of course, adjust this, but it looks to be perfect, like a pretty much perfect square. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. Looks good. You can come through here and tweak it, right? Like if you had it way off on an angle, like, you know, you had it turned like that, it's going to do it on its own. Look at that, see? So you can adjust it, right? That's keystone, right? Like if you really crank it over here, like you have a weird angle, look at that. It's going to adjust it. Now, you lose a little bit of the surface area, right? So you can see here, right, there's actually some, this is like where the projector could be, and we're losing a little bit of that because it's adjusting that oblique angle to make a nice, crisp, clean image there, which is very nice. It's nice and fast too. That's another thing I like to see. But if you go closer to being perpendicular, right, perpendicular, like that, then you get essentially the full extent. So there's only a tiny, I could adjust it slightly more. There's only a tiny little bit there that's missing. So we have a huge canvas here. And that's one of the nice things here. For a short throw projector like this, you're potentially in an area that doesn't necessarily have a perfect angle to project. Like this thing might be slightly off to the side of your room, right? Your office, you know, if you're teaching or something like that, or slightly off to the side of your living room, because you maybe don't have a dead center location that you can actually project in the middle of your teaching, or in the middle of your room if you're going to be projecting, watching a show or something like that. Like maybe I don't have this perfect setup in real life where I have the projector right in front of me here, and this thing's able to project directly onto the wall, right? Maybe I have it over there, and because that's the only place I can put it right there. Like this is my coffee table. I have a little edge table over there. I put it over there. I project at an angle onto the wall, and that auto keystone, the fact that it can adjust so much, means that I can still get a nice canvas there, despite the fact that the projector is not directly, not directly looking at the wall. Yeah, like, I mean, this is horrible YouTube compression too. If you know YouTube, you know it compresses imagery really bad, like really quite bad. And you can see over here, for example, like I can read GeForce RTX, I can read all of these keys here depending on the angle. Q, like I can read all this. A little compression there, but that's not just blurry, it's just compression. Like Microsoft Edge on an oblique image here, compressed over YouTube. Obviously it's very crisp, right? We can come back here, and again, that's YouTube compression, right? So like we can go, I'm not gonna play a show on Netflix because I don't wanna actually like get horribly demonetized. That's the problem with, yeah, like the text is all looking beautiful, looking nice and crisp. You know, it's a 4K image, even though it's a huge 100-inch screen, so massive screen, you're getting really nice crisp texts here. This is all looking good. Colors are obviously incredibly vibrant. We'll go into something that, it's an anime, and it's a very bright, beautiful anime. I'm actually standing in front because I want to make sure that the algorithm doesn't demonetize, but it's looking fantastic, right? The colors are looking really nice here. That's one of the nice things here. I mean, we have a 4K projector. So, you know, you can do, there's nothing wrong with 1080p projectors. I have no problem with 1080p projectors. But when you start to get to very large image sizes, right, we're looking at 100 inches, something like this. And because this is a short throw projector, it's designed that even in a relatively small space like this, you can get a huge image. And so I really need to have it at 4K because otherwise it would start to get really soft. It would still be watchable, but it would start to get really soft. And we don't have that issue here. Now, I would also like to point out that it is an incredibly bright day outside, right now. I do have the blinds closed, but it's pretty bright in this room. Like, it's pretty bright. And this thing is doing a really good job. That's one of the things that I always like to test. I could put this in to an absolute, you know, completely black room, right? And have no problems like there. I could put it into a completely black room, and, you know, then I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, any type of washout, but I don't like that. I like to have this really large, huge, I don't know, 6-foot window, 6 by 5 foot window there with the sun on that side coming in, getting onto the wall here, brightening things up because it makes it a little bit, well, it makes it a lot more challenging. And then as a result, we can test this thing properly and be, you know, is it actually doing a good job? Okay, we're gonna test this video here. The thing that I'm seeing here, very good color space, right? So let's come up here. These reds are looking very vibrant. So that's one of the other things that they sell this as, is it has very good color space, meaning if you didn't have good color space, these reds would look incredibly crushed. You would basically be ending up more like, it would be almost like a pink, right? Like we'd come in here, it'd be almost like a pink or potentially an orange, depending on how it's being crushed. We don't have that here. This is a nice, vibrant red. Okay, so here's another thing here. We have that very vibrant red and we have respectable blacks. Despite the fact that I'm not on a black wall, I'm on a light-ish wall here. And it's fairly bright in this room. Honestly, it's fairly bright. I could do this in the complete dark, but I don't want to do that. This is looking good. It's looking like a dark canvas there. Obviously, again, it's not pitch black because this is not an OLED screen that has a black background. It's not anything like that, but it is looking very respectable here. Right, we'll bring this through on my phone here because my phone, the DJI has issues with overexposing everything. And we can see here, this is what we're seeing here. You can see where the window is right here. Very bright light coming right onto the wall there, right? And as you get further away, of course, it starts to look better. So yeah, you can see the transition to some degree between the wall and where the light is, but it's doing a very good job with those contrasts there. Okay, let's go a little further on. Okay, let's do one more here. Nice vibrant greens. You can see the nice crispness. Again, we're dealing with YouTube compression here, but that looks still quite good here. It's looking fantastic, honestly. Like all the little details here, despite the YouTube compression, it's looking nice, right? The colors are obviously popping off the screen. Very, very, very vibrant. The motion's nice as well. So it's doing a very good job here. I'm quite impressed with the imagery. You can get laser projectors, you can get light type projectors. There's lots of different technologies here. This is looking very nice. Nice and crisp at 4K. Fantastic color space, obviously, and very vibrant and bright as well, despite the fact that we're in a pretty well-lit room here. So, I mean, again, we're not looking at, like, look at how bright this room is here, right? This is not a dark room. It's not a bright room, right? But we do have this giant window right there, and look at how well this is doing here. It's looking very good, and it's a huge canvas, huge canvas. Okay, so let's do some audio tests here. I'm very curious about the audio as thing on. Of course, you can hook up speakers, but I'm curious what it will do on its own. Okay, I'm gonna move away from it a bit. Yeah, I'm like 6 feet away from it right now. Let's get closer. This is at like half. Yeah, it's gonna get super loud. I don't want to turn it all the way up. It's gonna get too loud. Let's just go like 60, 70 maybe. Yeah, it's so loud. Turn it down. It's way too loud. Yeah, this thing gets crazy loud. We were at 70 there. We were at 70% and we were well over 80 dB standing far back from it. So yeah, this thing's gonna get super loud. If you need to fill a room, this will do it. It has a respectable amount of bass too. It's really not too bad. Yeah, so in terms of audio, this thing sounds really actually quite good. It's very, very impressive. It gets very loud. I have tested some projectors with slightly more bass, but they're also significantly bigger projectors, and that's kind of what they're focused on. This thing is very impressive in terms of the amount of bass that it has for what it is, and the overall volume and clarity of sound is also quite good. You don't want this thing being noisy when you're trying to watch a show or something. It's very quiet. It's basically the same as my noise floor. I can kind of hear that there's a fan on somewhere in the house. It's very quiet. So I'm playing this because one, it's Link's Awakening, which is dope, but also look at those colors. Wow, it's so good. Nice and bright, nice and crisp. That's a huge screen. So here's the thing, I'm gonna pause for a sec here. Now, I have played this game on other projectors and large TVs, and I've tested them, but I haven't tested this game on a 4K short throw projector like this, where we have a huge canvas here. I haven't been able to get such a large canvas. It hasn't been possible for me to create a canvas that was this size. So I've never actually played this game on a 100-inch canvas. We could go bigger, right? We could go bigger, but I have not been able to do such a large canvas here. So I've never seen this game It's so intense. I've never seen this game on 100 inches like this before. My God, it's so massive. I have to like sit further back. It's huge. Yeah, this is something else here, right? Like I've tested, like 4K laser projectors and that are, specifically designed for this and that, but they weren't short throw projectors. They were like normal throw. So I wasn't able to get them nearly this large of a canvas, right? It was not physically, oops, well, it's gonna blow up down there. It was not physically possible for me to get a canvas this large testing those. This is massive. Now this is a one-player game, very vivid and beautiful. Imagine playing like, I don't know, like, I don't have anything competitive here. Imagine playing like Smash Bros or something like that, like a couch type game where you can play multiple people at the same time. It would be so crazy to play something like Smash Bros on something like this, right? With a huge canvas with your buddies here or your family or whatever, playing a game like that, that'd be incredible. Let's do some Cyberpunk because why not? Okay, so here is some Cyberpunk. Now, being able to play Cyberpunk, it's such a huge screen. Again, I've never played Cyberpunk on a screen this big before in my entire life. Not even close. I have tested it on some projectors, but I've never had a short throw projector that I could get 100. This is bigger than 100 inch, by the way, because I moved it back. This is about a 105 inch canvas here. It's huge. Nice vivid colors too. Like it's looking fantastic, right? You have those beautiful colors here. Everything's looking really nice. Yeah, like have you played Cyberpunk on 100 to 105 inch canvas before? It's so massive. It's my entire wall is now, and this is a big wall. The whole wall is Cyberpunk. It's like, I have to like lean back because it's just, there's so much screen. So yeah, I can really see the benefit of short throw. Typically the way that like I set up my living room in like wherever I am, I actually set it up for more of a short throw type setup. Some people prefer like a long throw or a normal throw, whatever. That's their setup. But for me, this is more where I would be, like an actual like short throw type setup, right? Because I typically would have a room maybe around this size here. And you can get this huge canvas here, right? Like it's a huge canvas. And it's looking very good. So it's actually looking pretty good up close too. So yeah, so I mean, if you're playing games, right? If you're playing games, it's going to be hard to beat this thing. Conclusion time. We tested the short throw projector here with the Nintendo Switch 2. I could have done it easily with, my PC, my gaming PC, my gaming desktop, whatever, but the Switch 2 does 4K. So I was like, we'll just use the Switch. And that's one of the nice things. This thing is small. It's not designed to be like a super portable. It's not sold as a portable, but it's small enough that you could easily take this around with you. You go to a friend's house, you go somewhere, you travel around, you can take this and your like gaming console, like a Switch 2, PS5, handheld, like a Windows handheld, Steam handheld. I use the Legion Go S. Hook it up to this and game on the go. Take it to somewhere. You can do co-op type gaming with friend's house. Go to a place where you guys can all meet up. Take this with you and use it. The other thing to consider here is that this thing is able to create huge canvases, like this whole wall here, 100 inches, easily over 100 inches at like 5 to 6 feet. So you can throw this thing like on a coffee table in front of you, project it right on a straight wall and get a huge canvas. The nice thing is it has really good oblique handling too. So if you turn this thing here, and it has this nice stand, turn this thing here even on an angle, whatever, and you put it in a corner, like maybe you have only a corner table, like a little side table, something like that, put this on the corner, project it on the wall, that's okay, right? You're still gonna get a really nice large image, very crisp image, despite the fact that you're projecting at an oblique angle, for example. You don't necessarily have to have everything dead center. That's a huge selling feature for me, especially in a short throw projector. I mean, it makes sense. You're potentially in a constrained like environment, maybe a little bit set up a little bit weird, and you don't necessarily have just like, I have a perfect like 20-foot projection runway that I can set this thing up and project down there, right? So this thing is really good. It also works well for roof mounting, ceiling mounting. I can't do that. I don't have a ceiling mount in this place that I'm in, but you could mount it on a ceiling. And again, it can, small space, you can have it pretty close to the wall on the ceiling and project right down onto that wall out of the way. And you can get a huge canvas despite the fact that this is mounted up there. It does have good audio as well. It's not, like a huge sound system. It's not focused on that, but it has good audio. You can, of course, hook up speakers and, enhance it. Trivial to do so. But if you just want to use it as it is, I don't think you have any problems with it. for movies, games, whatever, unless you want like a huge subwoofer. Sure, that's a different discussion though, but you can do it if need be. Colors, incredibly vibrant. It pushes far into that color space. That's really nice. You're going to be getting also nice crisp text because it's 4K as well. 1080p screens are fine, projectors are fine. I have no problems with them, but if you're using this for what you're potentially using it for like gaming, modern gaming, especially on console gaming, PC gaming, and modern shows. I mean, there is something to be said about 4K, especially on huge canvases. So this is a great product. I actually highly recommend this. I've been looking at the price, like kind of following it. A lot of competitor 4K projectors, you're getting 2, maybe even 3 times the price of this. They can get pretty expensive. Now, I'm not telling you this is, $100. That's, cheap, whatever, probably almost like use it and throw away 1080p projector off of Amazon. It's not that. This is a very premium product from a good brand, very reputable brand. It's going to cost you some money, but I think it's fair for what it is. Honestly, I think it's fair for what it is, and it's a lot cheaper than some of the competitors out there. If I can find like an affiliate program or anything like that, maybe I'll do it, whatever, but I'll also put some Amazon affiliate links down below if possible. I don't take sponsors or anything like that through my channel, so other than YouTube ad revenue, which is, we know about that, affiliate links help me a lot. So if you use that, if you're going to pick it up anyways, just use the affiliate link. Doesn't cost you anything. I think it's great though. I think this is a fantastic projector. Yeah, the short throw is more for me. You can check out the the medium throw, the non-STi, just the I model. If you have a longer runway up to your wall, that would be great. Yeah, they make good stuff. So yep, BenQ, good stuff. Monitor specific or projector itself specifically, very good. So check it out.